Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thank the gentleman for yielding and the privilege to address you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to address the underlying bill that we refer to around this hill now as the Yoho Bill, H.R. 5759. I appreciate the gentleman from Florida for drafting this bill. He and I are consistent in our philosophy, our constitutional understanding, and our approach. I would say, though, that the bill moved a little bit from the time that it was first presented. It had the word amnesty in the title. It said Preventing Executive Amnesty on Immigration Act. Now it says Preventing Executive Overreach. Tones it down a little bit for me. It also addresses the subject called prosecutorial discretion. It says in the bill it ought to be applied on a case-by-case basis and not to whole categories of persons. Mr. Speaker, prosecutorial discretion can only be applied on a case-by-case basis. It cannot create whole classes or categories of persons and exempt them from the application of the law. So I want to make sure this congressional record is clear that this bill doesn't endorse the idea that we're suggesting prosecutorial discretion as anything other than what it actually is, and that's on a case-by-case basis. I'd say also it says no provision shall be interpreted or applied to authorize the executive branch to exempt categories of persons unlawfully present. I agree with that. But any action by the executive branch with the purpose of circumventing the objectives of the preceding sentence shall be null and void and without legal effect. That's nice. This bill amounts to a resolution of disagreement with the president. I don't think it makes it clear enough that the president has clearly violated the Constitution of the United States. I don't want this to be into the record as something that's ambiguous. And I would also point out the president knows the law. The Constitution for 10 years. For 22 times he said, at least that we know of, into the public record, into videotape, that he didn't have the authority to do what he did. And so if the president has so little respect for his own opinions, and my point would be, how would he have a lot of respect for this bill? And so I encourage the gentleman. I thank him for offering it. I yield back the balance of my time.
Gentleman from